Now we are going to extend our knowledge beyond natural numbers. Till now we have studied about the natural numbers. For instance, all the counting numbers like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, they were all considered as natural numbers because they really exist in the everyday world. But if you add a zero to this list, then the natural numbers, when also counted with zero, it is called whole numbers. So whole numbers are all positive numbers, natural numbers, but it also consists of the zero. But now we are going to extend this further. What if we count down from 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then we'll say 0. But what if we continue counting it? Then we need to say -1, -2, -3, -4, and so on. You can see this -1 is almost like a reflection of 1. -2 is a reflection of 2. So the numbers on the right side of 0 are called positive numbers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Or we can say they are natural numbers. 0 is neither positive nor negative. It does not have any sign. And from 0 onwards, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, they are called whole numbers. But these numbers like -1, -2, -3, -4, -5, -6, and so on, they are called negative numbers. So negative number is now a new addition to our knowledge of numbers. But many of us may be wondering, where do we actually use negative numbers? In our everyday life, we do not say, oh, I'll give you -5 rupees or something of that sort. But in our everyday life, we indeed use negative numbers. For instance, in temperatures, especially in degrees Celsius. We all know that the freezing point of water is 0 degrees Celsius. And anything less than 0 degrees Celsius is represented in negative degrees Celsius. For instance, the maximum temperature of New York is 2 degrees Celsius, maybe in the daytime, but the minimum temperature of New York is -4 degrees Celsius. That is, it is freezing cold in New York. And we use this -4 in order to tell that it is even 4 degrees less than 0. Then we also use the system of negative numbers in the buildings, in the elevators, in the lifts. Take the example of such a building. This building has a ground floor, means floor number 0, and then it has the first floor, second floor, third floor, fourth floor, etc. So all the floors above the ground level are considered to be positive. And if it has a basement, that is the floor below the ground, then all the floors below the ground, 1, 2, 3, 4, they are all considered to be negative. So even in the elevator, you'll be having all the buttons with 0, which is the ground floor, then 1, 2, 3, which will take the lift above the ground, and -1, -2, -3, -4 will take the lift below the ground. In the same way, in money transactions, though we do not have any negative amount of money printed on a currency note, but let's take this example. Suppose if someone has a balance of $1,000 at the beginning of a month, and then he pays a bill of $200. So $1,000 he had already in his bank, but he made a check of $200. He withdrew $200 from his account, and therefore now he has $800. 1,000 minus 200 is $800. You'll say, okay. But then suppose he receives some income, he receives some rent of $150. Then 800 plus 150 is 950. So now he has a balance of $950 in his account. Now suppose he pays an installment of $700. Then 950 minus 700 is $250. And suppose if he still further makes purchases worth $400, Now he does not have $400 in his account. He only has $250. So how can he purchase $400 out of the $250 balance? But certain accounts are given overdraft facilities. Overdraft facilities. If you have a good reputation with the bank will allow to withdraw more money from your account than you already have in your account. So for this purpose, 250 minus 400, though in real sense it is not simply possible, but still for simplicity purposes, the bank will say that you now owe me, $150. So 250 minus 400 is negative 150. Though negative $150 does not really exist, but in your passbook, in your bank account, they will say you have negative $150 in your account. But then suppose if you have some sales and if you then deposit $1,000 in your account will now only reflect $850 because from this $1,000 you paid $150 and now your account has $850. So we have negative transactions also allowed in certain accounts. Then in golf scores, if you ever have watched a golf match or if you have played a golf match, you know that if you take fewer shots in playing the hole than the expected par number of shots, then you get under par or negative scores. And in fact, in golf, having negative score is much better than having a positive score. For example, -2 is pronounced as 2 under par, which is in fact better than +2, 2 over par. That means you are a better player if you have a negative score than a positive score, as you have played the hole in fewer shots than normally expected of any professional golfer. So if you have a score of -2 or 2 under par, then you're actually using a negative number and you are a better player than a player having a positive score. Then in a timeline, 100 AD or 200 AD or 300 AD, they're all considered to be positive numbers. Today we are living in 2017 AD. So this is considered to be plus 2017. But anything before Christ is considered to be negative. So if someone was born 100 years before Christ, it will be considered as -100 on the number line. Though -100 year actually did not exist as the year -100, but for references point of view, we say it is -100 or it is before Christ. So we definitely use negative numbers in everyday life, and I'll see you in the next lecture.